Broadcast, YouTube style. Let's get it. First quarter done. Awesome. We gonna do whatever to file them niggas in my soul. Yep. I see you, Bow. I ain't gonna throw it down now. What you do right here?
You know, guys, the Pelicans only lost 5 games last year where they led going into the fourth quarter. They won entering the fourth quarter with the lead. That's very mature basketball for a team that's as young as they are.
A three from Anderson. Holiday.
Look at dude.
Outside Holiday. Here's Perkins. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Perkins got his first basket.
That man up out of there. Should he get into the... Oh, look at that. I synced that shit there. Not like this. Wait for it. Wait on it.
Well, they're going on this run and ball
boy, it's crazy out there.
Unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their pass.
Curry with him. And it's Gordon picking him up. One of those hits gets to Curry. And there are the Warriors now with another bucket.
And a huge lead here early to start.
Them boys ain't fucking around. Oh, we there. We there. It don't even matter. It's all in that deal. Yep, put it in his face.
Curry gets to Azili. And he banks in the layup.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball move.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Outside Gordon. To the middle.
That boy out there diving and shit.
Kicks to Anderson.
Drunk.
Backed in off the glass.
You gonna get it.
Several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition. You just gotta keep playing.
Outside Holiday. It's rebounded by Golden State. And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. Warriors lead by 12. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. And for the Warriors, this has been the game they wanted to have.
You know, you can tell right now this team's on the same page. They are right where they want to be offensively.
Well, finding scores on time and on target with your passes, it makes scoring the ball easy for them.
So the Pelican 5 right now. The shot blocking pair of Davis and Ashik inside. Norris Cole is out there with Tyreek Evans. And it's G in at the 3 spot. Warriors leading by 12.
And how about Sean Livingston? Just a terrific comeback story. Of course, he suffered that famous knee injury, one of the worst I've ever seen. And he has willed himself back to become a valuable player in this league.
Pelicans trail by 12. And Davis puts it in. And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
Well, you know, last season Steve Kerr came into a good situation, but a touch awkward. The team wasn't 100% on board with the firing of the previous coach, but he won them over in a hurry.
Some changes for Golden State. Draymond Green, he's checked in for Spates. Iguodala comes in for Brandon Rush. And it's Stephen Curry in for Sean Livingston.
A temporary lapse of focus from him on that turnover. It's embarrassing, but on occasion it does happen.
Eric Gordon, he's checked in for Norris Cole. Greg, Steve Kerr did win over the locker room in a hurry last season. They had finished a successful run under Mark Jackson. Winning accelerates everything. They certainly bought into it.
They really did. And people don't often appreciate how difficult it is to come into a situation where expectations are that high. But he also went out of his way to empower his players and really give them some accountability. Didn't try to hide anyone on defense and played to the strengths of his team on the offensive end.
Count it, and the Warrior lead has been cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Anthony Davis.
A nice run they put together here to bring it a little closer.
Yeah, they got hot, and I didn't think I'd be saying this a little while ago, but now this game's up for grabs.
And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Thompson misses.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, you may not be as lucky next time down if you're the defense. You cannot allow him to get those kinds of looks.
Baseline try. Offensive rebound. Here's G. Here's Davis. He shoots again. And at last, they get one to fall.
They've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's why they're on this run. You get that close to the hoop, and it's a lot easier to make shots.
It's stolen by Davis. The basket good off the assist from Evans. Now just a 1-point Warrior lead.
Boy, after struggling in the first quarter, he's come alive here in the second.
It was the season of destiny, and the Warriors certainly followed through. Clark, the best team in the league all year, and they finished the job beating the Cavs in the finals.
And they were on a mission from the get-go. They would become another team to win 65 games or more and win the finals. Impressive work.
Curry kicks to Green. Inside. Stolen by Ashik. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Ashik.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Azili's checked in for Andrew Bogut. New Orleans also making some changes. Kendrick Perkins, he's checked in for Ashik. Anderson comes in for Davis. And it's Holiday in for Tyreek Evans.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Here's Anderson. And it's New Orleans scoring again.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
1:05 left to play here in the half. Holiday against Curry. Holiday, the pass to G. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Andre Iguodala. That is his first foul of the game. Different look here for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Draymond Green. Rush comes in for Andre Iguodala. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. The Pelicans also changing it up. Cunningham comes in for G, and it's Norris Cole in for Gordon. And so here is Golden State following the three from Drew Holiday. No good from Spates. New Orleans in the lead. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And the rejection by Azili. And so it looks like the Pelicans will retain possession here. Here's Holiday. 6 points for him. Shot clock at 6. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And it's a 4-point Pelican lead.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. The Pelicans on top, up by 4. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter. The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game.
Well, Davis had a great quarter. He's got 10 points, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
You know what? The number is not huge, but he has been doing some valuable defensive work for them.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Anthony Davis really making a difference here.
I tell you what, though, it's going to be important to see if they can slow him down in the second half, because so far they have not had anybody that can disrupt his rhythm down low.
Well, how about guys mixing up the looks? I mean, bump him out a little bit, front him, double him, anything to try to get him off his rhythm.
Green at the 4 with Bogut at the 5. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots, and it's Iguodala in at the 3. That's Steve Kerr's 5 as we get into the second half. Pelicans leading by 4. And when you look at Draymond Green, he's not a guy who will wow you with his numbers or his athleticism, Clark. He brings a lot of intangibles, though. And I remember talking early in his career with Tom Izzo up in Michigan State saying those exact things, that he gives you so much more than just what you see.
And his current coach and our former partner, Steve Kerr, raves about him. He's the heart and soul of the Warriors, in Steve's words.
It's stolen by Green. And Thompson kicks to Iguodala. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
You know, you talk about Green's enthusiasm for the game. He's constantly talking, whether defensively or even in an opponent's ear. He's a vocal presence. And also another example of how a guy can make an impact without necessarily having it show up in the stat sheet. Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
And also, don't discount his leadership. Draymond Green's been a vocal leader his entire career. Even as a rookie, he wasn't afraid to challenge his teammates. And that competitive spirit, guys, can be contagious.
Pelicans leading by 5. And it's Evans missing. Warriors have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Here's Curry with the 3. Cannot hit. Evans with some nice D. There's the dish to Davis. Fires from deep. And Curry pulls it down.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time. Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
The feed to Thompson. Pass to Iguodala. Golden State moving the ball around. And Ashik sends it back. Wow!
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and he'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
Steph Curry does so many things well, Clark, on the floor, but one area he had struggled with was turning the ball over.
Yeah, and after a slow start, Kevin, to the year in the turnover department, Curry was able to slowly right the ship.
The Warriors making a switch here. Rush is checked in. That's good. And it's 9 points for Steph Curry. Pelicans leading by 5. It's stolen by Green. And there's Stephen Curry on the assist by Green. And that's now 11 points for Steph Curry.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Well, whether you call him the brow or ant or the future, Anthony Davis made the leap in year 3 to franchise superstar. I mean, still, though, he remains humble, determined to...
Tell you what, he's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Absolutely insane with that dunk.
Well, now they're starting to rub it in, aren't they? Build up a lead, and here we go, folks. It's showtime.
That was a Kodak moment right there. The more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys on the ropes.
Livingston, no luck. New Orleans leading by 6. Cole dishes to Davis. .111 left in the third quarter. And yes, sir, that one drops. Davis has got 9 points now in the quarter.
They've hardly needed anyone else today to get out to this lead. I mean, he's provided almost all of their offense.
For 3, Barbosa. It's rebounded by New Orleans. And here's the fast break. Davis leading the way. And now it's a double-digit lead.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's having.
And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. For New Orleans, they have made 1 of 3 free throws in the game.
And how about Anthony Davis? He grew 7 inches in one summer back in high school. You know, people forget he was committed to go to Cleveland State to play point guard out of high school. But then because of that growth, ends up signing at Kentucky, and the rest is history. So, I mean, you look at that 215-pound frame his rookie season, now up over 240, and that's enabled him to dominate the game even more. And I think it'll also help him improve his health.
And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's on Andrew Bogut.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
New Orleans shooting their 5th and 6 free throws of the game.
Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
Yeah, foolish play. He's got to be thinking out there.
Which he clearly wasn't on that play. Or maybe he was thinking just about something other than basketball.
Well, speaking of thinking, back home, guys, we call that a good old-fashioned brain freeze.
And it's Davis missing. And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
You can't afford to be playing that loose right now.
Definitely not. I mean, things have to be tight. You want to be playing smart, high-level basketball. You don't want to be brain fading right now.
You know, as soon as he recognized the height mismatch, he immediately pulled up for the jumper.
And, Greg, that's just good basketball. Come on, good basketball there. Clean look from that range. He's got to take it.
Just a boneheaded play there, guys. Plain and simple.
Well, tell me how you really feel about that, Greg. But you're right. I mean, mistakes.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Pelicans lead by 14. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. That'll be a 5-second call.
That's an inexcusable mistake, guys. That's not the way to get back in the game.
And I don't know if anybody can tell you what he was thinking, because I certainly have no idea.
And it's Gordon missing. Thompson with it. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
Clearly a mental lapse at an inopportune time.
Yeah, that's a terrible mistake, Greg, to make it any time, but it's really exacerbated when you make it at this time.
Brandon Rush is checked in for the Warriors. Barbosa comes in for Curry on the court for the Pelicans, getting the fourth quarter going. Evans and Gordon are the guard set. Cunningham is out there with Anderson. And it's Perkins in the pivot spot, manning the middle. G passes to Gordon. And there's the foul. It goes on Ryan Anderson. That's his first foul. And the Pelicans making a change here. Ashik's checked in.
First personal foul, teams first.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation.
Seems to me as though he's lost his way a little bit in the second half. He'd been turnover free before the break. That's certainly not the case anymore.
Spates checked in for Golden State. Gordon kicks to Evans. Here's Ashik. Outside Gordon. Anderson dishes to G. Not enough on that one as it misses.
I tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
That's a couple of very shaky possessions in a row. One turnover right on top of the other.
Time to just slow it down, make the simple play, and get a good shot.
This one for three. The basket good off the assist from Evans.
For three.
Evans has got 4 assists in the game.
Warriors call a timeout.
Well, with the season the Warriors put together, they came out way ahead of everybody else in the West. I mean, given how tough the West was last year, that makes their 67-win season all the more impressive. One of the best in history in my mind.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. Warriors took apart the West last season. They went 42-10 against the rest of the conference. The games between them and second place in the West were the same as the games between second place and 8th in the West.
And the Warriors didn't just pick on the little guys. I mean, they had big wins over the top teams in the West. Against the rest of the playoff teams, the Warriors were a whopping 20-5.